Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday, October 5th Facebook Live meeting. My name is Brad Bergstrom, and I'm lucky enough to be the superintendent here in Sauk Rapids Rice. Thank you for joining us tonight. Just a couple of things that I want to make sure I go through with you. If you are joining one of these Facebook Live sessions for the first time, first of all, thank you for joining us. Number two, just some housekeeping items. Our purpose really behind these meetings is for members of the community to ask me questions about things that are going on in the school district. Those questions can be put into the comment section, and I have two amazing people here tonight that will be taking a look at those and seeing. Oh, hold on a second, I'm going to pause because I'm getting feedback that maybe there's no sound. Just pause one moment here. Should be here. Let's go over here. Settings. They can hear me? Okay. Okay, I'm back. Apparently there is not an issue with the sound. So I'll continue with where I was at. So really the purpose behind these meetings is for the community to ask me questions. I've got two amazing people here tonight that will be looking through the comments and looking to pull questions out that I can try and answer. If I cannot answer your question, I will certainly look into that and get back to you at our next time that we meet on one of these meetings. And if for those that have questions that come afterwards, we certainly can look to put those into some sort of a frequently asked question document. In fact, I've got a question from the last time we met that I'll bring up here tonight as well. Now, I may not be able to get to everybody's questions, and if I don't, again, we'll try to get to those as soon as we possibly can. For those who have been here before, thank you for coming back. We greatly appreciate it. Always do value the input and the questions that get asked of me. So there is something that I would like to spend a few minutes talking about, and that is for an extended period of time, I have been seeking to ask people to treat each other respectfully on these Facebook Live meetings. The comment section is for questions. It is not designed for people to put in their opinions, to state their dislikes, to share their perspectives on an answer that they do or do not like. And because this is a school district sponsored opportunity, following those expectations is something that it's really important that people do. Now, for the most part, many of you have been following that expectation, and that is using the comment section to ask questions, and for that I'm greatly appreciative. However, some are not. And I'm getting feedback that because of those comments and because people are using it for things like don't like something the superintendent says, to share an opinion about what the school district should be doing, it is driving people away, and they're not interested in participating in these because they're not interested in the rhetoric, to be quite honest with you. And that is something that as a school superintendent, we cannot have happen. This is a communication opportunity, and we want to keep it that way. So I'm going to ask again one more time that people refrain from using the comment section to state their opinions, to talk about how unhappy they are with the school superintendent. I'm sure there are plenty of sites out there that you can go and find where you can state that opinion and probably find people to agree with you on that. And that's okay. Those pieces are there for those who have concerns to go ahead and do that. Our purpose is to ask and answer questions, not for the rhetoric. So this will be the last time I'm going to ask this, and if that is not being followed, we'll take a different path, albeit a much less ease of access piece, but we will take a different approach to getting the questions, and we'll just shut off the comments. Again, I think we have to role model what it is that we want our students and our community to be looking like when we are having dialogue, when there are questions being asked. And because again, this is a school district website, I will again ask that the commentary and those kinds of things, this comment section is purely for questions. And if you could help out with that, I would greatly appreciate it, because then it will allow others to feel more comfortable to come back and stay away from that rhetoric. So that's very important, and I hope that everybody understands that really this is designed as a communication piece. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to some questions, or a question that I have been receiving that I thought I might share with you. And that is, the question that's come to me is, can I take a home or a store-bought home, to be taken at home COVID test? Can I take that for and have my child take that to see if they're positive or negative, and then can I use that? And the answer is yes and no. Like many things with COVID, there are some extenuating factors that come into play with that. So if you have concerns that you want to have your child tested, and you go to CVS, you go to Walgreens, or wherever else there are home tests, and you want to take one of those tests, and if it comes back positive, let us know, and you will not have to go and take another test. We will count that as a positive. Okay? Now, if you have symptoms and you want to use that home test to say, see, my child or somebody in my household has tested negative, that we cannot do because we don't know who took the test. So for a negative piece, we need a lab-confirmed PCR test in order for somebody to come back, because that is one of the criteria, is if you get an alternative diagnosis, if you have symptoms, or if you have a lab-confirmed test, PCR test, then you can come back. But again, the home tests, or those tests that you can buy and take in your home, yes, it will count if it comes up positive. You will not have to go get a lab-confirmed test for that. But if you wish to have it so that your child can come back and because it states that it's negative, that has to be a lab confirmed test, because on there will be the date, student's name, birth date, etc. So that way we know for sure who took the test. So again, there are opportunities when that test at home can be taken and utilized for a positive. Just let us know. And again, on the website, there is an opportunity for you to go ahead and report that. You can call the school and leave that information, and you can email as well. Plenty of ways for you to be able to share that information with us. Okay. And speaking of testing, I want to get into another piece here and share some information with you. And that is, as our community COVID numbers continue to increase, so has the desire for testing increased. And so what we have done as a school district is, if there's a close contact notification, there is in the email link that goes home, there is a link down at the bottom to some places that you can go to across the state to get tests. If you are notified that your child has one or more of the more common symptoms, or two or more of the less common symptoms, and they have to go home, we will also give you a document that has some local testing sites on it as well, within about a 10-mile area of Sauk Rapids. Now, this is an informational piece for you to try and help. Where are those various testing sites and where might they be at? We strongly encourage people to call ahead and check. We have had situations where sites have closed, or they are changing their hours, or they're not available on a particular day. So it's not to say automatically all the time here's where it's at, but it's a jumping off point for you come to pick up your child. Again, things change at these locations, so we urge you to call ahead to get that, to see if that site is still doing testing. The next piece with testing that I want to talk about is I've gotten some information in the last few days in regards to one of the testing companies out there is a company called Vault. And between now and the end of December, individuals who live in the state of Minnesota can order a vault test, which is the saliva test, to have on hand so that if you need a test, you will have one that you'll have access to. Last year, we as a school could order these in a large bulk supply, and they were available for our staff. That is not something that we can do anymore, but individuals can. You can go to the Vault website, you can go online, sign in with an account, and you can order one for yourself. You can order another one for a family member, but you can only order one. And then once that test is taken, and you must be able to do it by having access to the internet, because you have to do it. It's a Zoom link that will show up, and then the person will be guiding you through the process of doing the test, and then telling you what to do with the test once it's done. But once that test is taken and sent off, then you can go online, and it has to be recorded by them. So it's got to get there first. Then you will be able to go in and order another test. So this is free for anybody who lives in the state of Minnesota. And so if testing is something that you feel strongly about or you'd like to have access to, and you don't want to wait to see if there's a facility in the region that's open, because I know that I'm hearing stories of people having to wait a couple of days to be able to sign up and go get a COVID test. So this might be a way on the proactive side for you to be able to access a test and have available. Then you utilize it at your leisure, and then once that test goes out and it is taken care of, then you can go online and order another one. The turnaround for those is generally 36 hours or longer, but it is something that you can have in your home, and you can test with right away if you would like. So again, that's Vault, V-A-U-L-T. Do a website search, and you'll come up with them. You have to have a login, and you can establish that. And then when you take the test, it has to be a Zoom-enabled test or link to, and you have to do that in front of somebody that's on the other end from that Vault has set up to do that with. So there is another testing question, and then I have one last one, and I'll look to see if we've got any questions coming my way. That is, I've received some communication, and I indicated that I would share this with our community that's listening tonight, and that is, we have people who are needing or wanting a COVID test, and they are going into the walk-in, making appointments, going to urgent care, going to emergency care, and they're wanting a COVID test. And this is causing some concerns. It is preventing people from getting care that they need, and at the end of the day, those facilities, those sites are not doing COVID testing. So if we as a community could help out with, and again, go to our website, we have information on testing there. If you're a family member and you have to come pick up your child, we'll give you some information there. I've talked about the Vault piece. If we can refrain from going to the hospital or to the clinics to get a COVID test, unless you sign up through one of their drive-in clinics, etc., that they have, please refrain from doing that. I know that our medical facilities would be appreciative of that, and so that they can utilize their time to work with those who are in need of medical attention. And testing is something that can be done at a different spot. So your help with that is greatly appreciated. So with that, I'm going to go grab some questions. The first question I have here is why are masks not required for grades that can't be vaccinated? So one of the things that we did since the last time that we have met is that we put together what we're calling a stages document. It is found on our website. It's isd47.org. And if you scroll about halfway down, there's a COVID-19 information tab. And when you click on that tab, it'll take you to our COVID site. And there you will find, and I'm looking at my computer right now to make sure that I got this right. You will scroll down and you will see the third piece down. There is a drop-down box and it says COVID stages. And if you click on that box, it will give you what we are calling our stages document. And what that is across the top are various stages that we have identified, and it's 5 of them. And then down the left side, you will see the various mitigation strategies that we might have in place, including learning model, face coverings regardless of vaccination status, quarantine, visitors and guests, so on and so forth. And you will see that there is, in stage 3, in stage 1 and 2, I should back up. Stage 1 and 2, it's recommended. And then if we get to stage 3, it moves to required. So the question is, why are masks not required for grades that can't be vaccinated? Because at this point, we are looking at this in terms of we're not to stage 3. And you also will see an indication of what stage we are as a district. Now, does that mean that a building or a grade level can't be at a different stage? Absolutely, that could be a possibility. But as we move across these stages, once we reach a point where it's time for us to be in stage 3, then we'll go ahead and then masks will be required. Now, we did this last year. We did the same thing. We had 5 stages, and depending upon where things were at with our internal and external data, that drove us to say which stage we were going to be in. And so part of the reason why this is here is also to let our community members and our families know these are the things that maybe we should be thinking about and planning for in case we have to, in case there has to be some movement with this. And so at the end of the day, we'll continue to follow this stages document, and that will give us an indication of where we're going to be at when it comes to all of the mitigation strategies that are found within our Safe Learning Plan. So the next question here is, our youth programs in our district are taking attendance and working with the district nurse and for exposures. Is that happening? And the answer to that question is yes. Just looked over to confirm and make sure I had that right. So again, when it comes to our youth programs, we want to make sure that we are doing the contact tracing and notifying families so that they can make the best decision that they can with regards to knowing that if they've had a close contact or not. So the next question here is, are students expected to get all schoolwork done if they are home with COVID? And I think that's a great question. And I think the response to that is really taking us back to pre-COVID. And if a student was out for an extended period of time, a 1 or 2 day absence, there's some flexibility with that. But really go back to that time period and say somebody's going to be out for a week or for 2 weeks, whatever it might be. And the expectation is we try to get that work and get that in students' hands. But there may be some questions that they have and they might not be able to make contact with the teacher while they're out. And so it really revolves around communication with the teacher. And at today's times, we have a lot. We have very easy ways to communicate, whether it be via email. At the secondary level, we have Schoology for students to be able to contact their teachers. They'll know what their work is, etc. And I think the biggest thing is really, if a student tests positive, how are they feeling? If they are feeling, and symptoms are such that it's very light for them and it's not a huge deal, yes, then let's get that work done as much as we possibly can. And you can reach out via email and those kinds of things to get some questions answered if possible. But if the student is not feeling good and is not up to being able to get the work, letting the teacher know, and then when they come back, let's work out a plan to figure out what that's going to look like, because we don't want our kids to get too far behind. So at the end of the day, that communication piece with the teacher is ultimately what's most important, and so that there can be a plan in place. And again, at the secondary level, we have Schoology, and there's assignments are found in there. At the elementary level, again, it may be more of give us a day or two, we'll get the work put together, and then somebody can come and pick that up and work on that while they're home, again, depending upon how they feel and if they are capable of being able to do that, because the symptoms are such that it allows them to be able to do that work. If they're not feeling well and the symptoms are a bit more intense for them, then it might be something where they're not able to do the work. And at the end of the day, they'll have to work with the teacher upon their return. So the next question here is, I kind of anticipated this one, is how are the stages determined and what are the metrics? So when we're looking at which stage we're going to be in, much like we did last year, as much as everybody wants to have this one item, and when it gets to here, this is what it's going to be, it's not that simple. Here's the example that I shared the other day with somebody, is that we were been looking at our 0 to 11 category from Benton County in terms of the number of cases, and notice that some of those numbers are going up. Upon further review, which one might indicate that, we've got a problem at the elementary level. When we looked at our data, which we are sharing for each week, and if you go back and look at our data from on the website with regards to where we're at with COVID cases, I'm going to pull this up right now and look at our dashboard, which again is found at isd47.org. Go to the COVID information tab, you can pull that up. Our case summary from last week, we had 57 students, which is 1.23% of the student population that tested positive. You got to do a deeper dive to figure out where this is coming from. And we know that there have been some cases of testing positive in some daycares. Okay, so if you just purely look at a number and say, yep, that's where it's at, you might be missing information. Ultimately, what we want, this has been a consistent that I've gotten from those who have concerns with our Safe Learning Plan and those who support our Safe Learning Plan. Everybody wants students in school. And we know, based upon our experiences from last year, that keeping students in school is where we want to be. So the stages document is really designed for us to look at both the external data that's going on in our community and in the region, as well as looking at that data that we are seeing internally and asking questions to find out, is there an issue in our schools? Is there an issue with the kids coming in? Do we need to make adjustments with that? And it's not a simple number. It's not a guess. The superintendent, I talk about myself in the third person, I'm not sitting in my office saying, well, today I think we should do this, or tomorrow I think we're going to do that. Every day I spend time looking at what's our COVID data telling us internally, externally, what am I hearing from other superintendents, what is going on inside of our schools, talking with principals, and if there is a need to revisit our Safe Learning Plan, we will. And if there is a need to move a stage, whether it be at a classroom level, a grade level, or a building level, or district-wide, we certainly will, but we want to make sure that we're doing our level best to keep students in school, because we know that is what's best. That is why a little over a week ago, we made a change in our Safe Learning Plan. And the change was made because we were seeing some of our data that was indicating that, for example, some students were still coming to school with symptoms. And we said from the get-go, we want parents to make the right decision, and many of them did, but some didn't. So we needed to make an adjustment. And that's not necessarily reflected in our numbers, but it is something, it's part of that data that we're constantly looking at. So when that question gets asked, what are the metrics? We're looking at our positive COVID cases. We're looking at what's going on in our community. We are looking at what does our staff look like. We're looking at where are those cases happening at? Are they happening in our community? Are they happening in a different part of the county? And all of those pieces and more come together to help us make a decision in terms of, are we going to move across that stages document? Now, when we were talking about this stages document, we did bring it to the COVID Advisory Committee and asked for their feedback. And one of the things that I was very clear with him on is that there is not an exact science to doing this, and that it's actually pulling different pieces of information and looking to decide what is the best decision for us to make in order to do two things: keep our staff and students safe, and to keep our students and staff in school. Those are the two things that drive us. And so because it's not an exact science to do that, it is something that I knew that people would have questions about, but the committee really convinced me that what this document does is show that we are thinking ahead. It's an opportunity for families to know that, hey, as we move across these stages, if things are continuing to increase in terms of our concern, or if we're moving in the other direction and getting less restrictive, it is a communication tool to show our families that there is a method to our discussions and where things are at, and we are purposeful in our planning. So the next question here is if we move to distance learning, are parents expected to help students since the governor does not have a distance learning plan in place? And the question is there a plan in place? And the answer to that is yes, there is a plan in place. Due to some changes with terminology, what we had last year we called distance learning. And distance learning went away when the governor's executive orders went away. However, we learned a lot, and we understood that while not ideal, if there is a short-term need, whether it be for a class, for a grade, or for a building, and hopefully not for the district, but if there is a need for instruction to take place where we have to close a building because our data is saying that we cannot keep a building, a grade level, or a classroom coming in every day, yes, we're going to call it online learning, but it will work the same way as what we did with distance learning last year. And so, again, hopefully that's for a short period of time. And then when we come back, we want to make sure that we have protocols in place to ensure that we're not going to be bouncing back and forth. There would be more restrictions upon return. But then if things were going well, then we would move away from some of those restrictions and loosen those up. But again, there is a plan. We called it distance learning last year. It will be called online learning this year, but it will operate the same. And that is why for families, it's important that the stages document is there so that you understand that if we wind up getting to stage 5, either at a classroom level, a grade level, or a building level, or at a district level, we will go into what we are now calling online learning, and that would be for a minimum of 2 weeks, depending upon where things are at, and then hoping to bring students back. Because again, I'll come back to our 2 guiding pieces, and no matter which side of the safe learning plan you're on, I'm hearing very clearly that keeping students and staff in school is what the goal is, and I could not agree more with that. The question here is, do you confer with the medical community when determining adjustments to our safe learning plan? We have had, ever since we developed our COVID incident management team, which developed out of the need to look at how we're going to be planning and what we're going to be doing with COVID last summer. We have had a representative from Benton County Public Health as well as Centricare. We also know that we meet once a week with this team. We also know and understand, depending upon how busy their schedule is, they're not always able to make the meetings, but they're always giving us notes and information. So the answer to the question is yes, we are conferring with them and getting information from them in regards to, as part of that data gathering that we do in order to make sure that we are, if we need to go more restrictive or less restrictive, we have that piece in place. We also are communicating, we have on our COVID incident management team, our school nurse. And again, they get a weekly update from the Minnesota Department of Health, and then she gives us feedback in terms of how things are going as well, in terms of what we're hearing from MDH, as well as also what we're seeing within our schools. So when we talk about the medical community, our school nurses play a role with that as well. So my next question here is, what is the actual time frame for kids if sibling tests positive? So the way that the plan is laid out, and apparently there's been a number of 3 different answers today, which is unfortunate. I apologize for that. The way that the plan was laid out is that if somebody tests positive in a household, the siblings that are, the people that are in that household that might come to school, and we have to use the word household because for a variety of different reasons, but with the term household, that if I test positive, the people in that household who might go to school, they are out for 10 days and they must be symptom free. So people get this idea that, okay, I gotta sit for 10 days and I'm done. Nope, you have to be symptom free. And that's where this idea of testing comes into play, and so that it can help families with making decisions as well. But the idea is that if somebody tests positive, you are out for 10 days, all siblings, all members of that household are out for 10 days, and this is the important piece, and you have to be symptom free. So could somebody be out longer than 10 days? Yes, it is feasibly possible. If after day 3 or 4 they get symptoms, they're tested and they test positive, then it's 10 days from this onset of symptoms. So what we're trying to do here with this is not penalize and keep healthy people at home. What we're trying to do is prevent people from coming to school that may be carriers of COVID-19. And that's what we were seeing and why we needed to make the adjustment. The ask was, if somebody in the household tests positive, everybody stay home. That is the best way so that we can keep kids in school. That was not happening consistently, therefore we needed to make the adjustment. So I'm going to switch gears here a little bit, and we spent an awful lot of time talking about COVID. And I would also like to begin to use this time to talk about some other things that are going on in the district. And one of them is I'm going to be talking about is homecoming. So it is homecoming week, and in fact, as I'm sitting here tonight, I can hear the whistles and the cheers as the volleyball team is playing, and go Storm, and hopefully they'll be victorious. But just a couple of things that I want to talk about that's been going on up to this point. Number one, we had the Powder Puff football game, and as a former high school principal, that's always seems to be a big to-do with homecoming week, and the senior girls were victorious. I believe the score was 12-0, and the report from Principal Noner was that there was a lot of great sportsmanship there, and that's what this homecoming week should be really about, is supporting each other and engaging in school spirit, and this is really great for us to be able to see that. I also want to send out a congratulations to our king, which is Wyatt Carpinella, and also to our queen, Addison Bemboom. So congratulations to those two, and Wyatt, if I butchered your last name, I apologize. Mr. Noner did tell it to me, and I did put my phonetical spelling on there, so if I got your last name wrong, I apologize. But congratulations to King Wyatt and also the Queen Addison. And then there'll be other events that are going on throughout the course of the week, and of course there is the culmination on Friday night, the football team, and I think we're playing St. Francis, if my memory serves me correct. And so it's been great to see all the people that are coming to support the Storm football team. But please remember, we have other activities that are going on during the week as well. We have soccer, we have cross country, we have volleyball and other activities. So let's make sure that if they're at home, then we're also here to cheer them on. But homecoming game for football will be on Friday. That's at 7 o'clock. And right now the Storm are 5-0. And good luck to Coach and the rest of his team as they take on St. Francis here on Friday. And then there's the homecoming dance that is going to be after that. It will be an outdoor dance, and as has been the normal practice here, is that it will be for our students only, and there are no guests that are going to be invited. The next piece that I would like to talk about here is something that if you log into Skyward, which I'll ask that everybody in the upcoming weeks take a chance to do this. You're going to see a pop-up window that comes up. We recently learned that as a part of our protocols and that we ask families to fill out is a thing called a home language questionnaire. And it's been an optional piece, and really what it asks is what language or languages are spoken in the household. And it's been an optional piece for people to fill out, and we have since learned here recently that is a requirement from the Minnesota Department of Education. So if you log into Skyward and you see a window pop up, it will ask you to simply answer a question in regards to the home language questionnaire. And again, it is a requirement, and we did not realize that, and so that's why you'll be seeing that window. And if it's not popping up now, look for it to show up in the coming days, and it shouldn't take very long to do that. And again, our apologies for asking you to go back and take a look at that, but again, as we learned what we needed to do with the home language questionnaire, we wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. So there are a few items that I can count on just about every week or every time I come here that I'm going to get asked questions about. And the one here is school board meetings. And the question is, when will school board meetings be accessible via Zoom, WebEx, etc.? We have put together some resources to eventually get to the point where we can start broadcasting school board meetings. We've had some issues with some of the technology, and as you might all be aware, supply chains are definitely tight and trying to get the pieces that we need. There's been a delay with that process, and we're also working out kind of the system and the protocols that we're going to use to be able to put that out there. We hope to be doing this sooner rather than later. In the meantime, what we have been doing is we have been making space available down in our commons area as an overflow area. We haven't had to have too many people go down there. Some choose to go there even though there's space up here. But just be aware that we're working on that, and as soon as there is an opportunity and we get the system so it's working the way that we want it to, and we get our protocols figured out in terms of how this is going to work, we will be looking to put those meetings, make those meetings be accessible via, so people wouldn't have to come here to see what's going on. More to come. The next item that I have here that I want to talk a little bit about is, again, just a gentle reminder that we have a 2-hour early out tomorrow for students K through 12, and we're not doing that at the pre-K level. It'll just be K through 12. And in doing some checking, last time we talked, and some information also went out as a part of our top 3 things that you need to know, which I'll come back to that here in just a moment. We talked about there is availability for childcare, both the elementary and through the middle school age students, but you had to sign up early. Our first early release is tomorrow, and the deadline to sign up for tomorrow is come and gone, but there are still 2 more early outs that are going to be coming. And in order to access those services, you have to sign up ahead of time. So our next 2 dates are January 12th and April 6th, and you can sign up for those at any time. So tomorrow, if you haven't already signed up or you're not a part of the program, you won't be able to access those services. So just a reminder that to make arrangements for your child if they're coming home, or if they're going to go to somebody else's place, or somebody's coming to your place, however that's going to work, just that we will not be able to provide childcare if you haven't already signed up. But there are still 2 more early releases. Again, those dates are January 12th of 2022 and April 6th of 2022. And there will be an opportunity for you to sign up for care. And the reason why the deadline is passed is we need to make sure that we plan and staff accordingly, and we just cannot wait till the last moment to make that happen. So again, early release, 1st of 3 tomorrow. It is K through 12, not pre-K, K through 12. And again, if you have not already signed up, that window has passed, and you will need to make arrangements to have your child leave from school. A couple other things here that I want to make sure that I talk with you about. One is that just a reminder that the MEA break is just around the corner. The dates this year are a little later than what they have been the last few years. So those dates will be October 20th, 21st, and 22nd. There will be no school pre-K through 12 for the MEA break. And then the other piece I want to talk with you about is that we're going to be moving the Facebook Live sessions to once a month. The information is such that we feel that we're going to be able to do this. We've been doing them every 2 weeks, and so we're going to move it now to 1 time per month. Now, if something urgent comes up, or if there is a need for some sort of a unique need to have a Facebook Live meeting prior to that 1 time a month, or in addition to that 1 time a month, we will certainly do that. But starting in November, we're going to move these to 1 time per month. And again, having conversations about more than just COVID is a direction I'd like to see us go, because there are a lot more things going on in school, and we want to make sure that people are aware of what those pieces, what those specific components are. So the next question here is there any plan for essential workers, medical workers, etc.? And the answer to that question is no, there is not. There's nothing special or unique. Again, as a part of the governor's executive orders, there was criteria in place that provided for childcare, and that childcare was to be provided at no cost. And when those executive orders went away, the essential worker piece also went away. Again, are we providing some care? Absolutely, but you have to sign up in advance to do that, and particularly on days when there is an early release. And then as we start to move into that time period where we're talking about snowballs flying in the air and cold temperatures, again, making those arrangements will be especially important. But there is no specific piece designed for essential workers like we have seen in the past. The next question here is, are you doing bag lunches for early release? The answer to that question is please check with your child's building to find out where that's at. I don't know the answer to that, and by the time I would find out the answer, it's going to be in November, and we're well past that. So please check with your child's school and to determine where that's at and if a bag lunch is going to be provided. I do know that we want to provide a lunch for all of our students, but I know that sometimes that compressed lunch period gets to be really hard to do. So there may be bag lunches, but check with your child's school for more details. So the next piece I have here is I want to share some information that can go out to a number of different organizations, in particular businesses. And that is a project that some of our students are working on in the DECA program. Mr. Bauer, the head DECA advisor, and his students, they do amazing work year after year, and the reputation for the DECA program is phenomenal. And there's a group of students who have put together a really unique idea. And so this is for businesses in our community that are looking to hire people, and they're going to put on what they're calling a job fair. And that's going to take place on Monday, October 18th from 4:30 to 7:30. So any businesses in St. Cloud, Sartell, and Sauk Rapids, you're invited to come and participate in this. And they're specifically picking this date and time as we're looking for those nights when there can be high attendance because we have some music things going on here, plus we have conferences that are going on. So at the end of the day, it's a great opportunity for numbers of students to be here and businesses to be able to look to hire some of our amazing students and to use this as a way to fill some of those voids. The group is going to be promoting the job fair throughout the school using video messages, posters, announcements. And so again, it's an opportunity for businesses in St. Cloud, Sartell, and Sauk Rapids to really come here and interview some of our great kids and then provide some opportunities for employment for them and help our businesses to be able to fill some of those voids. So if you're interested in checking this out and learning more, please feel free to reach out to Josh Bauer, and he can be reached at josh.bauer, B-A-U-E-R, at isd47.org. And there's also a link, and we'll see if we can't get that out there on the website for businesses as well. They are asking that if businesses are interested, to let them know no later than Friday, October 8th. And if you reach out to Mr. Bauer, he can connect you with one of our amazing students who are helping to put this together, and they can get the details worked out for you. So again, an amazing creative way for our students to try and fill a void. I've been fond of saying here in the last 3 or 4 months, if not longer, you can't throw a rock around here without hitting a help wanted sign. So here's a way to help fill some of that void and maybe hire some of the amazing kids that we have at Sauk Rapids High School. Let's see what else we have here. So next piece I want to talk here a little bit about is I'm going to go back to the homecoming piece, and we will be honoring, as a part of the homecoming, we'll be honoring some Hall of Fame, some Hall of Fame honorees will be honored. And these are people, and it could be individuals. I think there's also an opportunity for teams. I'm not sure where that piece is at for sure, but I do have the list of names in front of me who are going to be honored. There is going to be a program on Saturday morning. It'll be here in the Commons area. If you have any questions in regards to the Hall of Fame, the honorees and the program, etc., or like more information on how it works, please reach out to our activities office, and they can certainly get you that information. So I hope that I do not butcher these names too poorly, but I have 4 people here who are being listed. And Tom Rogonski is one, so congratulations to Tom. Ken Bamboom, congratulations to Ken. Kristen Hilly Heckendorf, congratulations to Kristen. And then August Machula, thank you, is also being recognized, so congratulations to August. And this is, oftentimes I get asked, why education? Why have you done this for now? This is my 34th year. And it's things like this right here. It's homecoming week. It's the recognition of people who have made an amazing contribution during their time here, or things they have done outside of the school after they've graduated. It's just a great way for us to recognize and honor. That's what I love about being in education. It's listening to the fans screaming and the volleyball team participating. It's the Friday night when we're at the football game and seeing all of the people there and the cheering and the bands playing. It's the soccer games. It's all of those pieces that really make Sauk Rapids Rice Public Schools a great place for our kids. And at the end of the day, while we may have disagreement in how we're going about doing this, keeping our kids in school and doing so in our staff, keeping their students and staff safe is paramount, because at the end of the day, it allows us to continue to do these things which are really, really important. And it's what kids remember, and it's what's important for us. Okay? So my final piece here for you, as we're getting ready to wrap things up, is I mentioned a little earlier about snowballs. And after a day like today, the last thing we want to think about is snow and wind and cold. But that is not too far off in the distance. And so just a reminder, it's never too early to start making plans for what might need to happen if we start school late, if we have to release early, or school is canceled. Those are plans that families need to be thinking about now, so that when that decision is made, that everybody knows what it's going to be. Similar to what we're doing with our stages document, it's giving families information to be aware and plan accordingly if we have to move to be more restrictive, or if we're in restrictive measures and we're moving to be less restrictive. Making those plans, making those things be available, and talking about what could take place and what we're going to do, whether it be weather or our storm stages document, it's fundamentally important for our families. So, with that, I think that wraps up. I'm going to look here. I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. I will look for when the next date is going to be for our next Storm Forecast Facebook Live. It will be sometime in November, and again, we're moving these to once a month. In the meantime, take care, everybody, and go Storm. Have a great evening. Good night.